Wicked sweep. Kendrick Lamar released a statement yesterday on social media, on Instagram and Twitter, letting everybody know that this will be his final album coming up. His final album on TDE, Top Dog Entertainment. Now listen, that doesn't mean that he's retiring and this is going to be his final album forever, but a lot of people, of course, on Twitter and social media interpreted it that way. That's why you have to read the fine print, read everything, and read between the lines. Now, in this long statement, Kendrick was basically saying how, he's stepping into new endeavors, he's stepping out on faith on this one, and he's basically letting us know that, his spirituality is keeping him close in this new venture and new journey he's going to be going on in life. He says, he's basically become a recluse or secluded of sorts. And even I've noticed, just like you probably have, that Kendrick Lamar isn't the most savvy when it comes to being, his social media isms isn't so savvy. I mean, he basically never uses his Instagram or account or Twitter. He only has like one post on IG, which was the post he came out with yesterday with the file, giving us a little preview that his brand new album is forthcoming. So Kendrick Lamar is somewhat of a recluse. He's very, very private dude. I think he's married. But we really don't know too much about Kendrick. He rarely does interviews. He's not really out in the spotlight. Well, he's really not in the spotlight like that, like how, he was when he first came out compared to, where he is right now at this point in his life. But Kendrick was like, yeah, he goes months without a phone, which means, he likes to stay away from things, away from people, secluded, not in touch with what's going on in reality or what's going on, which can be a good thing considering everything that's going on right now in the world and in this country. Being out of touch and out of tune with reality can be a good thing. But, he says, he says, thank you for keeping me in your thoughts. And, basically in this long message, he says, he lets us know where he's at in his mind state with his faith. And he just says, be on the lookout for the new album. Now, this sent shockwaves on social media and caused everybody to go absolutely nuts and absolutely crazy. Some of the tweets that I thought were a little premature, but millions of people was sending out tweets yesterday. This was trending #1 topic yesterday afternoon as soon as the word dropped. I mean, you had people on Twitter saying Kendrick's next album, his final on TDE, Top Dog Entertainment, will be a classic. There's one guy or there's one person, alias Shrek Knows Rap. Okay, bruh. Shrek Knows Rap says, yep. Kendrick's gonna drop another classic, and the well wishes for Kendrick just keeps on going. Another guy says Kendrick Lamar gonna drop the most iconic piece of art of the 21st century. I don't know about that. We'll see. We'll see. Time will tell. But everybody's basically saying how this album is going to be an instant classic. Kendrick Lamar is actually about to drop a new album in 2021. This can't be real. The amount of joy and happiness I feel right now is insane. And that says, This Is Hip Hop says that. This Is Hip Hop 2 says that. So we got a lot of, experts, so-called experts on Twitter giving their opinion on Kendrick's upcoming album. Like this guy right here, Don says, when Kendrick Lamar breathes, the entire world freezes. I don't know about all that. The best MC in the game, can't wait for this album. And this had me thinking. This got my creative, my creative mind and creative juices thinking. Kendrick Lamar has dropped, 3 or 4 albums, official albums, over the last, 10, 11 years since he came out. He dropped the Section 80 album, Good Kid, Mad City, Pimp to a Butterfly, and he also dropped the Damn album. Now, those were some very good albums. There's no denying that whatsoever. But were they considered classics? It's debatable. It's up for debate if you want to call them classics or not. I think Good Kid, Mad City was an exceptional album. I think that was, in my opinion, my humble opinion, I think that was Kendrick's, his best album. I think, that was, can be considered a classic album. I thought it was a dope album. And let's just get this out the way before I go even further. Kendrick is an amazing lyricist. I mean, you saw the freestyles, you seen him in the ciphers, you seen him rhyme all night, on the BET, was it the BET Hip Hop Awards, when he was in the cypher killing it. Kendrick got rhymes and lyrics for days. I mean, just look at him on the Control remix. What was it? The Big Sean Control. This was a couple years ago. My mind is misleading me a little bit, but the Control remix when Kendrick. We all know Kendrick's resume, and we know Kendrick can be the top dog, no pun intended. But we all know that Kendrick can be that dude, gunning for that #1 spot in the game, in the industry, when he wants to be. It's just all about, lately, it's just all about pretty much the lack of material and the lack of music Kendrick has been coming out with over the last 5 years. Kendrick is just sort of like, laissez-faire. He's really, never would call Kendrick lazy whatsoever, but he has a laid back approach when it comes to his music and the distribution of his music and coming out with material. He rarely comes out with material as much as he used to. So, we've kind of at least I've kind of gotten not used to hearing him as much. But to say that will this album be a classic, a classic album, another classic album for Kendrick? I mean, time will tell. I mean, we'll find out. Am I doubting him? Absolutely not. I feel that Kendrick can deliver a classic album, just like a lot of artists out there that's currently rhyming, can deliver a classic album when they focus and when they put their mind to it. So this, time will tell what happens. But to say Kendrick is the best rapper in the game, Kendrick is in that conversation. But the thing, my take on it is Kendrick, we have such lack of new material and things of that nature from Kendrick that, his placement in that top 10 has kind of shit, if you consider even Kendrick to be in the top 10 rappers currently right now in 2021, which I don't, because I think there's way too many more rhyme sayers and spitters out there in 2021 at this moment of time, or August of 2021, August 21st or whenever you view this, of August 2021, there's too many rhyme sayers out there that's been put in the foundational groundwork to have their just due in that top 10, to where Kendrick doesn't make my top 10 as of currently right now. It's just too many dudes out there. So just to say that Kendrick could, now when Kendrick comes out with an album, it's definitely up for debate whether he'll be in the top 10, top 5, or top 2, because he'll have some new material. But because we have the lack of new material, I can't just say, let's just forget this MC and forget that MC just because, Kendrick, is still a dope rhyme sayer, but he hasn't dropped any new material. So I'm not just gonna throw him in my top 10 prematurely just to do that when we have MCs out there that's been grinding, hustling, and just doing the constant, footwork to be deserving of that spot. Artists like Papoose. I mean, come on, Pap has been dropping an EP, an album every single month for the last couple months. I mean, he's been dropping nothing but dope material. Pap is an ill rhyme sayer. Shout out to Papoose. Shout out to my guy RJ Payne. Can't speak enough about RJ Payne here on my platform. His success has been documented on my platform. Check out the videos if you haven't seen them already. I mean, we got RJ Payne, who's been putting in that work. We got Ransom. Come on now. These is names that's solidified in the top 10, top 5 right now in 2021. Ransom, Sky Zoo, Conway. Can't forget about Crooked Eye, who's been doing his thing for years now, going on almost 20 plus years, and Crook is still ill on the mic. Jadakiss, come on, top 5 dead or alive. I mean, Jadakiss is in my top 5 MCs of all time. We got Jadakiss still doing his thing. You can throw Eminem in there. Eminem is doing his thing. Royce the 5'9" has been killing it. Then we got Lupe Fiasco, and if you want to tout and throw around the name Mickey Fax, who's been bubbling on the low and slowly making a come up, we can throw Mickey in there too. So basically what I'm saying right here is that, Kendrick, I love you. We love you. We want to hear you. We definitely want to hear you because we ain't heard from you in forever. But Kendrick, bruh, before all of these dudes on Twitter and social media and Instagram and all these platforms just crown you king and just place you in that top 5 or that top #1 spot right now, as of right now, bro, you got some work to do. That means you got to drop a dope album. Can you do it? Absolutely. Can you drop a classic? Absolutely. But bro, you're just not going to just jump over all the names I mentioned But bruh, come on now. Let's be serious here. Come on now. Come on now. You're just not gonna just overly loop and jump over all the hip hop dudes and names I just mentioned right there just a minute ago, and to say you my number one MC or you deserve that top spot. You just gotta put in that work. Like they've been doing for the last year, for the last 2 years, for the last 3 years. I mean, come on, you've been absent from the game for the last 3 years, and all them dudes that I just named been putting in that work. We're gonna find out when Kendrick drops his album. Let's just see. Yo, you already know. Subscribe to the YouTube channel. Please do. You know what I'm saying? You know I want that. Come on now. We almost at 1,000. We getting close to 1,000 subscribers. Let's do it. Let's do it up big like always. It's your boy AP, and I will check y'all later. Always on the spot. Peace.